Gotcha.
Gotcha now.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
Good deal. We'll go right to questions for Ricky Stenhouse Jr. And we'll start off with Mark Garrett from PRN. Mark, you got a question for Ricky?
Ricky, just talk about the last lap. Certainly at a couple of points, it looked like you'd found a place to get to the front, and the hole started squeezing up and shutting off, and that may be one of the craziest finishes I've ever seen since 1982, since getting onto this series. Just talk about what was going on right there.
Yeah, we, didn't get a great restart. Blaney and I didn't get hooked up good enough. And that seemed to, let the outside lane get a run. It let the 4 and the 17 out front. But what that intended to do is let me and the 12 get hooked up and get a draft from those two cars that were out front. So I pushed Blaney really hard down the back straightaway. And then when we went into 3 and 4, I wasn't sure what direction I wanted to go. We ended up going low. And then I thought I was done. I thought I was a sitting duck. The outside lanes were coming. The 20 had a good run. And then they started banging, fenders and, slowing each other down. And I just kept in the throttle and, was able to, get close to the nose of the 12 there coming across the line. But all in all, it was just a solid day for us. Our Nelson Energy Drink Camaro was really fast. And we lost track position, but seemed to be able to get that back pretty quick. Our car was fast, worked well with others. And, I think all the blue ovals there together at the end were just really tough to beat.
Hey, is he still with us, Ricky?
Ricky, I don't know if you're still here, but if you can pop on your video, it looks like we may have lost your video.
Oh, no, he's coming back in. Hold on a second, guys.
Sorry about that. Hit the wrong button. Tag called me.
No, not a problem.
I was going to follow up, Ricky, on that. I mean, what's the level of disappointment? These things are so hard to win, right? And to be so close. What level of disappointment do you have losing by, whatever it was, 1,000th of a second or whatever?
Yeah, it's disappointing for sure. You work all day long, playing different scenarios out in your head, how you're going to, be the first one across the start finish line. And it does dictate or have a lot to do with, all the other cars that are racing and, who's pushing you and, how they can push you and what moves they make. And, so a lot is in your control. A lot is circumstantial. And, you just got to keep putting yourself in those positions, every race, especially on the speedways to, eventually get them to click off. My people that I worked with all race, if I had them behind me there at the end, I would have felt a little more comfortable because we worked really well together. But, when you got all the Fords there lined up, it was kind of tough to, I didn't feel like anybody was going to go with me. So we ended up in the bottom lane by ourselves, and it ended up working out to get back to second, but definitely frustrating not to win. But all in all, man, it's still a good run for our team. And, we carried a lot of momentum from Daytona, bringing the same race car down here to Talladega and it still being fast. So that's a positive. We got more speedway races to go.
Thank you.
Take a question for Bob Pockers. Go ahead, Bob.
Yeah, Ricky, I saw you were among those pushing Bubba's car today. What did that mean to you? And then to follow up, have you guys talked at all about the Mississippi state flag? And I don't know how you feel about that flag, but has anything over the last couple of weeks made you think more about it?
Yeah, it was cool to see everybody, pushing Bubba's car there down to the front. That was I would say it was a Kevin and Jimmy idea that everybody jumped on board with. And then to see all the crew members, follow suit was really cool. I think the coolest part for me was, listening to the fans before the race, after the race, showing the support, as well. I thought that was strong and really cool to see. We have talked a lot about the Mississippi flag. I wore it on my belt for a long time. We did take it off. So, we took it off of my race suits, over the past couple weeks.
Thank you.
Next, we'll go to Jeff Magliacetti. Go ahead, Jeff.
Hi, Ricky. Congratulations on the run today. As someone
Thank you.
who's had a good share of success at Talladega, could you describe what you thought about the new package and new rules package that was run today?
Yeah, I thought it was a great racing. You had to work really hard, to form your line, and really, work the side draft, work, pushing cars, getting cars to push you. You had to work hard for it. I thought that was great racing. I felt like everybody kept their cars in control. We had some big saves out there. I saw, I think the 12, the 11, 22, myself a couple times, get pretty sideways, but, gather it back in. The third lane, I felt like with this package got hurt the most. It seemed like you could get some runs going, but it would stall out pretty quick. It seemed like the bottom and middle were the way to go, and it kind of took the top lane out of it, which, in turn, a lot of times we run single file around the top, and the race can get kind of stale. So I thought overall the package was really good. I don't think any driver is going to have any complaints about it.
And we're just over a third of the way of the season in your first year at JTG Daugherty. Can you describe how that process has been so far, how you've been getting along with the new team and with Ryan and whatnot? How have things been going in your first season over there?
Yeah, it's been great. I've enjoyed every minute of it from the first time that we went over there and I sat down, with Tad and Jody and Ernie and ate dinner. I've felt welcome. I felt like, it's a family atmosphere, but also they get the job done. Any money that comes in, they put right back into our race team, buying parts and equipment, making sure that we can perform the best that we can perform with what we got. The Kroger family is one that, I'm proud to be a part of. My mom's shopped there for, 35 years so far and continues to shop there. And so, now having NOS Energy Drink on board with us, it's just been a really good chemistry from the top down, including our partners. And I've enjoyed it so far. And, we've got fast race cars. We've had some mistakes that have cost us, some on my end, some on the car's end, but, we're in this together. We're trying to clean everything up and making sure that we put our best things forward. And we're looking forward to the rest of the year.
Thank you, Ricky. Good luck.
Thank you.
Okay, next question will go to Jim Mutter. Go ahead, Jim.
Congrats, Ricky. Two questions. First, could you get a sense today at all of the actual fans that were in attendance? And what was it like to see a significant number, or at least the most significant number that we've had so far?
Yeah, it was nice to hear them, before the race. It wasn't dead quiet. Like I said just a little bit ago, them, chanting Bubba at the start. It's pretty special to be able to hear that. And I think those fans were glad to be here. When Bubba took the lead, when he got to the lead, we came down the front straightaway, and we were only 2 wide at that point, I think. And I looked at the stands and watched all the people jump up and cheer. That was pretty cool. So those are things that we haven't had in a long time. And, I know those fans got to see a great race because we battled hard all day long.
And the second question, you mentioned not wearing the belt buckle and taking the flag off your uniform. Would you say that was a decision based on like a learning experience that you've had, or because of a realization of something other people might feel towards it?
Yeah, I mean, you never want to do anything to offend, anybody on purpose. Obviously not being on purpose, but, it's our state flag. And I've always been proud to be from Mississippi, and, and I've always supported or wore the flag on my belt for, a long time. And I've never really thought of it, offending anybody, but obviously with everything that's going on in the country, with, the rebel flag, and learning, really how it offends so many people. I don't intend to do that. And, that was just a way for us to make sure as, myself and JTG and our partners that, we wanted to take an initiative to take that off before we felt like, somebody wanted us to have to, or, all right, people calling on my phone. It was,
Are y'all still
got
there?
messed up. So, we just wanted to be proactive and make sure that we, got that off and didn't offend anybody, going forward.
Thank you very much.
Next, we'll go to Ashley McCubbin. Go ahead, Ashley.
We've seen the moves that you were making throughout the day. When you're making some of those close call moves, how much are you weighing the risk versus the reward?
Well, for me, you just got to put yourself in position. For the longest time, we weren't sure when, if the rain was going to come. We wanted to get stage points. I feel like I have a style of drafting that, when I get in different lanes and when I'm leading the lanes, I feel like I can pull that lane to the lead. And I think it showed, for the longest time, the Penske cars were lined up on the bottom, and nobody could seem to get alongside of them. Myself, the 18, I think maybe the 95 or maybe 41 was behind them. I felt like my technique and aggressiveness on the side draft, along with Kyle Busch's aggressiveness and pushing, got us back to the lead and then ultimately ended up getting us 10 points and winning the stage. And so for me, it was, you always want to keep your track position. There was a couple times I got in the back and, it was difficult to make passes when they're 2 and 3 wide to get back to the front. And you just kind of got to wait and let it chill out. So for me, it's always just trying to get back to having good track position.
All right. Thanks so much for your time, Ricky. That'll do it. Have a great week, and we'll see you for the doubleheader at Pocono.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.